Hey everyone, welcome to this week's Azure Infrastructure Update. It's the 6th of November and a super quick update this week. As always, I do have the chapters so you can jump to the one of 4 updates we have. New videos this week. So obviously last week was the Halloween update, so I did the silly little costume. I did a video all about Azure AD lifecycle workflows. If you think about the lifecycle of someone who joins a company, maybe moves around in the company and then leaves the company, well, that joining and leaving are the focus of these lifecycle workflows to really automate pre-tasks and then the actual onboard, offboard, and then maybe the post tasks as well. So on to what's new. Logic Apps standard for Azure Functions Runtime 4.x. So the key point is Logic Apps used to run on their own engine. And what they changed was now Logic Apps actually runs on top of an extensibility of Azure Functions. So wherever Azure Functions runs, I can now run Logic Apps on top of that Azure function through the extensibility. So now what's happened is the new V4 Azure Functions runtime, well, now supports that Azure Logic App standard running on top of it. So what's going to happen is new deployments will now use the Azure Functions V4 runtime. And I think during the month of November, existing Logic App standards deployments will be moved to the 4.x version of Azure Functions. So there's likely nothing you particularly need to do, but just realize, hey, that migration is happening. On the storage side, so Cross-tenant Azure Storage Customer Managed Key, bring your own key, has gone GA. So the key point of this is, by default, a storage account is always encrypted at rest, but it's a Microsoft managed key. Maybe I want more control of that. I want to control the key. I might want to control when that key is rolled, i.e. a new version created. And so I can bring my own key, a customer managed key, which resides in Azure Key Vault, my Azure Key Vault. What this enables me to do is the key vault that stores the key that's used for that encryption at rest of the storage account can not only be in a different subscription, it can be in a different subscription under a completely different Azure AD tenant. And where that's going to be useful, imagine I'm some kind of SaaS provider and I have many different customers. Well, maybe I have a storage account in my Azure subscription where the data for each customer resides. With this functionality, I can now have a customer managed key, but the actual end customer of my SaaS service bought their key for their storage account that happens to exist in my subscription. They have that key in their subscription under their tenant, but I have that access to that key to use to encrypt what is essentially their data under my control. So it's super useful in those scenarios where I have lots of customers, but the customer wants to maintain control of the key so they could revoke it if need be. So even though the data's in my storage account, suddenly I can't decrypt it anymore. So that now going GA enables that use case. In the miscellaneous, so Azure Government has a new KMS server. This is the same as Commercial Cloud and China Cloud. There's basically a new DNS name. So this is the AZ kms.core.usgovcloud.api.net. It's replacing the old name and there's going to be a new IP address. You don't have to do anything. This is just around that activation of Windows VMs running in Azure. They have to talk to a KMS server to activate. Ordinarily, I don't have to do a thing. If I've maybe done some lockdown or troubleshooting in the past where I've restricted it or hard-coded some name or IP, hey, the name's changing, the IP is changing, so just be aware of that. And then Azure Automation, remember I have those run books, well, now supports PowerShell 7.2 and Python 3.10. That's it. That's all the updates. As always, I hope that was useful. And until the next video, take care.